I don't remember exactly when I started exercising. I think at the very least I started doing it this year. It's honestly been a challenge sometimes, taking with it and remaining consistent with it while constantly making the exercises more difficult for yourself to further strengthen your body. The last bit I feel is the hardest part about improvement in general. That more often than not, once you complete a goal or a difficult task at hand, the satisfaction of just hitting it once can be enough to sate the hunger for further accomplishment. That you don't want to go through the same trials and tribulations over again just for a now what you see as a slight improvement rather than the drastic one at the start of the journey. I've noticed that in my cardio. I go hard twice a week on the elliptical. Before, the number of calories I burned day by day was going up by 30 or even 60 when I started working out. Now, I'll be lucky if I burn 20 more calories the next time I go on the elliptical. The further I go, the harder it gets. I was an idiot for not expecting that. But I think the reason I didn't realize that thought sooner was due to the fact that I was always naturally gifted in school. I didn't need to study. Once in a blue moon, I needed a tutor, and generally, I tutored others. I just needed to be shown a concept once and I instantly got it. With the other skills that I've had to work out, like art, I've been on my art journey for so long that I totally forgot what it feels like to seemingly face roadblock after roadblock and not know how to deal with it. I forgot the many little changes, little improvements that I made on the course on my art journey, since I've been on it since I was 12 to 13 years old. I had forgotten what it was like to face any form of struggle head on. I had forgotten because all of the thoughts and worries that swirl around in my mind. Things such as, will I ever be mentally fixed? What am I doing with my life? Do I even have a goal in life? I had lost myself in the whirlwind of my mind's machinations and had forgotten how to remain persistent, that every problem doesn't have an easy and quick solution that can be devised and planned up. Sometimes, you just have to chip at it, one small piece at a time, over the span of a time that wouldn't be considered a quick and easy solution. In being in that whirlwind, I had only learned how to delay and avoid facing the problems, and there is only so much you can do before the match is set and you have to face it. That all I did was delay the inevitable. But for however long I've been exercising, I've regained that necessary persistence, the grit, the required tenacity to face such challenges. I've been constantly pushing myself to get better and have learned to relish in the challenge. This skill being applied to other aspects of life has not occurred yet, but it certainly will. I've now added more elastic band exercises, more creative uses to the ankle weights, reintegrated old classics that I've been dreading because I was avoiding them. Like any form of ab exercise, which I've forced myself to do now. Every single day, I have to attempt to beat my plank record. The record is currently 2 minutes, which I think is pretty mediocre, but I don't know the average time people hold the plank for, so I don't know. I think I could beat it today, so hopefully that will happen. I can only hope and pray to beat the record by a large margin. Also, added shadowboxing. Crazy that people can do that for 12 rounds. Much respect to those who can. I've also forgone counting how many sit-ups or jumping jacks I do. I just set a stopwatch and go for a certain time. Maybe I'll go for a minute, or maybe 3 minutes. I personally find that much more enjoyable. One last thing about this, strengthening your arms is fucking hard. Getting any sort of noticeable gain there is a bit of a pain. Well, actually, it's a lot of pain there. A lot. This journal entry turned out to be so fucking different than what I had originally thought I was going to talk about in my head. But then the thoughts flowed out about facing problems, avoiding them, and a whole lot of other stuff that I'm not even entirely sure makes any sort of coherent sense. Also, the heat is unbearable, so that may be a cause for this delirium. Anyways, I don't know what I'll do after this. Continue binging VTubers, probably. I don't know. Watch Annie or Fillion? I'll figure it out. This journal entry was written on July 6th, 10 p.m.
いつの日にか俺も父さんのように任務完了。俺の勝ちだ。